Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good morning. So this morning let's look at the sacrum and the coccyx. So in my previous video we looked at the pelvic and I made mention that two important bones are actually out. Yeah, not being part of the diagram that we discussed. So that was the sacrum and the coccyx. So this morning let's just look at it in a way of summary. So the sacrum and the coccyx, the diagram over there, okay? Now, beginning with the sacrum, okay? The sacrum is actually a wedge-shaped bone that is found between the two innominate bone. It actually forms the posterior part of the whole pelvic itself. So the sacrum consists of two surfaces, or it has two surfaces rather, the anterior surface and the posterior surface. So the anterior surface is actually smooth, okay, and it's actually concave in nature, and the concavity is referred to as the hollow of the sacrum, and that actually contributes to space, the cavity within the pelvis, so that it can accommodate the pelvic organs comfortably. Then we have the posterior surface. The posterior surface is rough and it's actually there for the attachment of the muscles. Now let's look at, it has the base and also an apex. Yeah, so we have the first sacral vertebrae that is referred to as the sacral promontory or the promontory of the sacrum. So that is the first vertebrae that actually articulates with the first lumbar vertebrae when you're counting from down. Okay, so it articulates with the first lumbar vertebrae. Now let's look at the holes over there. The holes, it has about 4 on each side. Now that is referred to as foramen in singular, and since we have it to be many in plural, we refer to it as foramina. So that's a ventral sacral foramina. Now through those foramina we have the innervation of the pelvic organ that emerges from the caudal equina, yeah, to supply or to innervate the pelvic organs. Now let's look at the apex. The apex actually articulates with the coccyx, okay, the apex of the sacrum. Okay, now let's look at the lateral aspect of it, the lateral part. That's an extension that is known as the ala or the wing, yeah, the flayed out parts of a sacrum. And then the coccygeal bone is actually a vestigial bone that consists of 4 fused coccygeal bones, and it takes the shape of a triangle. Yeah, so it actually tilts backwards during spontaneous vaginal delivery so that there will be free passage or a smooth passage as the baby maneuver itself through the birth canal. So that's just it in a way of summary, a sacrum and the coccyx. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.